Hey everybody, it's Bust with another Path to Champions weekly quest. Today, we're going to be taking on the 1.5-star quest, the Starlight Portal, up against the old Jinx, to where the special rules are both players start with a 0-10 Phantom Prankster. And so, we've been making a playthrough with Teemo, and we're kind of at the wall with Teemo to where we're at the 2.5 and the 3-star adventures, and we really need to get him up to champion level 13, so we get the extra relic slot. And so we're here just taking on a little bit of a weaker challenge, so we can hopefully get up to level 13 and get the extra slot, so then we can pop off with both the Gale Force, the scout item that we prefer to use with our Teemo, and then the thing that gives us the Lost Chapters, the +3 spell mana whenever you play a unit. Just give us a really high-powered start anytime we draw Teemo. And so with that scout in mind, that's due to this 1 star power. When allies attack, you put 5 puff caps on random cards in the enemy's deck. We should be able to level up Teemo on the first turn and get a flipped hit in on the first turn using the scout mechanic. And so that's what we'll be looking for today. Let's head on into battle. Yeah, how many clicks do we need? There we go. What up, Jinx? We're trying to get in there. Okay, Jinx at the end, Teemo at the beginning. Let's see what we can find. And so, lie in wait, always are really powerful when we're out here just trying to generate these very aggressive decks, and I think I'm okay with it, right? As we're like leveling up in the star powers, we have to kind of push away from these just hyper-aggressive, cut everything from your deck that costs 3 or more style decks, but in a 1.5-star quest, I think we can pick up the lie in wait and then punch through with a lot of really early game aggression. And so we'll go with the lurk here, see if we can't maximize that with our Teemo. And so, when the foe plays a spell, grant its weakest unit +1/+1. Gonna be putting those big bonuses on the Phantom Prankster. Alright, so no Teemos so far. I think, like the early stage here, we could probably just fold Mulligan. I think we'll have that, the Phantom Prankster to be a little bit defensive. And then if we don't turn up Teemo, we have a decent chance of drawing a 2-drop. Look at this though, getting these lurk attacks in right from the start. Nothing wrong with that. Puffcat Peddler, he appreciates the bonus. Alright, no need to stress defense there. We'll get the Puffcat Peddler in and attacking. Oh, Teemo. It's tough. It's like opponent's already filled out their board. I worry that Teemo's just not going to be effective enough right now. Let's do this. Here's what I'm thinking. Let's go ahead and get our attacks in. We'll leave the Puffcat Peddler back. Play a little bit defensive on this next turn. And then we're going to go for 2 flipped Teemo hits next turn instead of getting only 1 in, right? So if we just get our opponent up to the proper amount of puff caps, we should be able to get 2 flipped hits in instead of just 1. I think we're good. Okay, so we played the 3/5 to have a good block on the Tasty Feyfolk. I'm looking to just come in and stress defense the Scaled Snapper. And then we'll put forth blocks on his smaller units. Taking a bit of chip damage from the Phantom Prankster, but I think we're in a reasonable spot to maybe kill him on his next turn. It's too bad we can't get both like Teemo and the Achiever on the board, but you can't just have it all the time. Another lurk. Looks good. Gotta carry this one on to Constructed. Get your lurking Teemos out here. I was planning on attacking with this Puffcat Pup, but there's probably no real reason. We're just gonna take a point of damage from the Prankster, and so we'll leave him at home. Opponent falls to 7. We've got 39, doesn't sound right. There we go. Got 78 puff caps on their 12 cards. Probably not enough for a kill, but Maybe it is. Maybe it is. All right, what's in store? Okay, so not the greatest set of units. I'm not entirely opposed to an Everglade Collector just to give us that bit of heal, since we're going to be taking a bunch of chip damage from those Phantom Pranksters, but Aloof Travelers is going to be the most on theme. The way that we typically tackle these Teemo decks is we like to cut the 4-cost cards out of our deck. It's very easy to just end up with a Teemo deck that has an atrociously bad curve, but we don't have a lot of options here anyways. We could, of course, just re-roll and look for something cheaper, but the Aloof Travelers are just on theme, like, just enough for me to want to stick with it. All right, on to the champion, though. We need some cheap dudes. Jax is pretty interesting here, and he comes with, what is that? That's the one that summons the additional champions, right? What's your item? I can't see it. Yeah, that's the ephemeral thing, isn't it? There we go. When I'm summoned, summon an ephemeral copy. Pretty decent. And I can get behind having some of these equipments for our Teemos. They let us really come in and churn through these games. So we're getting those big scout attacks in with our Teemo. It's not that bad. And all right, so here I'm going to want to go towards the champion item chest. I really like to stack up as many Teemos as we can. And so we don't have to just go directly towards it, right? We have a bit of option here. We could fight the Eye of the Dragon and then go to the monastery, then go to the shield breaker, and then on down to the champion chest. But I don't think we need to go through all that. Let me see what the monastery is, though. Okay, so we are just on the ftpbus.com site. If you go up to the utilities thing up at the very top of the page, there'll be a thing for events. Events are the little exclamation point things that we see on the screen. We could just search for the monastery, and then what's this let us do? It lets us either heal or we can cut cards from our deck. So it's just a healer, right? I guess 25%. Is that a different amount? Well, I'm on board with going there. I'm going to get some of these 4-cost cards out of our deck. So let's get some extra battles in. So when the foe plays their first spell each round, they summon a Dragonling. What do we got? No Teemos, but we did get a Jax start. I think I'm on board with that. Then if we draw a Teemo by the time we get to the next combat, we could put this Fereth equipment on him. Going to be getting these big lurks in. A lot of opportunity here. Might as well attack with both, right? If we hit our lurk, then we'll get a point of damage in. load up our prankster with the Pan of Pain. I think that's a combo worth pursuing. So I'd prefer to save Jax for next turn, so we get to use the strike on him. I think we'll just add in the Conchologist. Give us a blocker. Interesting combat tricks here, but I'm just going to go with the Mystic Shot. It's a little bit cheaper. We're probably never casting that expensive stuff. Okay. The damages have been prevented. Interesting health potion. At least we've got quick attack on our Jaxes. Oh, ooh, I was not familiar with this this interaction to where we summon the Jax, the copy comes out, and then the copy gets the Light of Acathia. So I was expecting both of our Jaxes to have quick attack, but that's awkward and annoying. Huh. All right, well, I guess the equipment's in our hand now. Not a lot we can do about that. That's a bit unfortunate. But here we'll add in the Castaway. He's going to attune us back a mana. That'll let us come in and play a Sump Fumes this turn if we want, or we can still play the Mystic Shot. We have a pretty good combat here. So awkward. I was not expecting Jax to lose his totem. Or lose his Light of Acacia.
We each hold a world within.
Okay, so how are we doing this round? I'm looking at... we're going to play a Puffcap Pup. We could have led off with a Mystic Shot onto the Eye of the Dragon, but it's like if he has a burst spell, it just doesn't really work. And so now we're in a space to where we can at least Mystic Shot the Dragonling, take it off of the board, and then we can put the Light of Acacia back on our Jax.
The spirit gives to those who listen.
Old faithful.
I see you.
Let me change up my style.
No. Your lesson begins.
Wasn't even enough, right? I didn't realize the prankster had the 2 health. It's okay. It's just a little sloppy.
You know what? Also for me. Can't win 'em all.
Any puff caps we got in here? 13. It's like I'm eyeballing these aloof travelers to see if they can get a kill, but that's a bit of a stretch.
Your instincts speak.
And wouldn't you know it, I picked the wrong mushrooms.
Let's see, if we're going to lose a unit anyways, let's put that in front of his highest damage. Now we can block in like this.
Spring, bring up.
All right, can we finally get there? You gotta be pretty close to finishing this one off.
Next thing I know, I'm up to my britches in purple berries. Oh, if mushrooms could talk. Runaway bite! Where was I?
Right, not bad. Coming in for 11 into 8. Hitting that lurk to make it a little bit more. GG. So we took a little bit more incidental damage than I would have liked. Right, we're taking all that extra damage from the Phantom Prankster, but I don't think we need to heal. Right, we're moving into this monastery where we could potentially heal. I think I'm still on board with cutting a card. These are all kind of garbo, but the Fleet Feather Tracker is I guess it's reasonable. Yeah, Fleet Feather Tracker's drawing cards aren't that bad. So, right, you can take Refuge, heal 25, cut a card from your deck. You don't get to pick which one, though. That's kind of unfortunate. Or you can add an item. Oh, I didn't realize training was in here. Add an item to a card in your deck. Okay, so, I mean, that's an interesting set with the quick attack on all of these. I didn't realize our Dum Jax was going to be quick attackless on the main form, so it's kind of interesting there. Adding the champions is always good as well, but I think I'm mainly interested in this quick attacking Fleet Feather Tracker. It's like the things our deck typically lacks are just good early game, and then the interactivity isn't that great because it's all damage based. And so I think at least covering some of our early game with this Fleet Feather Tracker is going to be reasonably useful. Did I miscalculate this? Oh, we missed out on our champion item chest. I thought we could go here, right? There's dots. It's certainly got dots going from the monastery down to the shield breaker. I didn't think we could go backwards like this, but why are the dots there? Oh, I guess you can go to the shield breaker and then go up to the Teemo, and it just looks okay. Well, let's reconsider our strategy now. What do we have the options to go to? We have a epic item chest at the bottom, a shop, or a regular or a spells chest at the top. I guess we'll go towards the epic items chest. Maybe we'll get to add something good to our Teemo or something. And so onto Lord Broadmane. This can be a scary encounter. He does have a lot of like make it rains in his deck, but we'll have to see how it turns up. So when the foe plays a skill, grant their strongest unit +1 attack. Nothing going according to plan. Whew, this is rough. All right, this is an easy hard mulligan. I was gonna just look for our one drops at this point, so not excited about the Fereth, but the Jax at least helps a little bit. No need to add the Reaper. Like we're not gonna be punching in that early damage here. Now it's a little bit better if we get to put the speed wraps on our or if we get to put the equipment on our bird next turn. Yeah, that all looks good. What you got for us? Take the combat reel. You hit that lurk. We're getting pretty good at that. We can hit it on the first turn, but after the first turn, it doesn't seem to work out.
The bite doesn't hurt, but the venom sure does.
Interesting stun. Sure.
Get him.
So let's get our castaway on the board. Don't want to play Jax on the opposing turn since we're going to lose out on the good attack.
Let's go, Fang.
See how this goes.
Get shipwrecked.
What? F. I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense to where we're losing out on the castaway. We'll just call it a learning moment. I thought that we were going to be able to block and then protect our unit, but that was certainly not the case.
Honoring a whoa, whoa, whoa. This ain't just a lamb.
Go on, Fang. Just like I taught you. Fang's turn.
Little sloppy. Not the best work coming from old Bus today, but we'll fight through. We'll carry on.
Relax. Any takers?
Ooh, another lurk.
You like spiders?
All right, there's the Jax flip. We should be able to win on the next attack. Again, we took a bit of incidental damage here from the Phantom Prankster, but let's see if we can't fight through. Yeah, I just hope we don't have to go and just like find heal.
We are all seeking an end to war, friends.
I'm gonna drop the Conchologist here, just see what turns up. Shouldn't be, too many options in terms of finding heal, but I at least wanted to look.
What wondrous discoveries await below? We must work together.
There's the big make it rain. I don't want, like, ideally we're just not going to take any more damage from the Phantom Prankster. What I'm looking at now is I want to just get Teemo on the board and see if we can't kill with puff caps. That might be a little aggressive. No, I think that should probably be okay. If we're going to add both Teemo and Ava Achiever and then put a combat reel onto Teemo, if it really comes down to it, next turn we might be able to aloof Travelers a little bit more damage on the board. I think this is fine.
Another day in the field.
It's kind of lame, dude. Can't play the Ava Achiever now. We might just kill him with damage, though. Yeah, we can give Teemo +2 attack. Oh my god. No. Opponent refuses to go down. Just trying our best to prevent the damage. Okay. I guess none of that's happening. What's he at? Only 8 puff caps? Jesus. Alright. Fine. Just fine.
We're gonna make them afraid of us. I've memorized all the Vandal Scout rules. You can do better than that.
Let's see. How can we do this with taking the least amount of damage? I was hoping we could come out of here and do things like this, where we block and don't actually kill off the unit.
I'm not afraid.
I guess we're going to take a few points regardless.
Come on. That all you got?
Sure. Alright, so he's out of cards at this point. We should be able to finish this off without any more damage. Should be. I feel like we've said that like multiple times. Multiple times we've been putting that notion forth and just been completely wrong. All right, Teemo.
Ooh, quite a collection. Reporting in.
No one's the wiser.
All right, I guess it doesn't quite matter at this point. In with the Teemo. Get the lurk, just get the free win. Okay. So, ooh, that's tough. That's tough. We're down to 9. It's like it doesn't matter how well these games go. We're just at risk of dying. And so we got to find like a heal item where we got to, I guess, start using the healers instead of just cutting cards from our deck. But we'll see what turns up. Alright, so the Broadmane, not a really strong collection of cards. I'll add in the Ava Achiever. It doesn't do anything to help our curve, but if we are finally able to cut some stuff out of our deck, that's the expensive card I like to hang on to. Alright, I think we're going to have to start rolling, though. I want to put items on our cheap cards just to make sure we have early game stuff to do. Now, this is a very easy and common mistake to make. You do not want nab cards on anything, right? As we're loading up our opponent's deck with puff caps, drawing out of our opponent's deck is pretty bad. And so you can like put it on puff cap pup and be fairly okay. You can just stop attacking with the pup, but you don't want the Thieves' Tools on Teemo pretty much ever. But coming out of these, we got a rally onto the Fleet Feather Tracker, just an extremely good add. Now I think we're stuck healing. Take that 7 health. On to Caitlyn. And so, round start, the foe puts Flashbang Trap in the top 8 of our deck. Very good at sniping Fleet Feather Trackers. Our Teemo should be safe because he'll just never be on the board at the start of the turn, but got to worry a little bit about our Fleet Feather Tracker friend. Okay, and since we're up against the boss, I feel pretty okay just being really aggressive here, right? There's always some argument in, say, just like banking into the next turn so that we have the ability to... Oh my god, that was scary. We just he immediately put it on the top card. That's the way to lose our Teemo, I guess. But no, if we need like a little bit of interactivity in the next turn, then we don't have to be as all-in-y as we are right now with this Teemo. But since we're up against the boss, I think we should be able to, you know, if we close this game out at 3 health, it doesn't matter, since we're just going to heal it all right back into the next game. Alright, Caitlyn comes in. We'll just drop the Conchologist. He's going to do his best job of blocking. Take the Poro Cannon. Again, another way just to put some cheap units on the board. Might as well prevent this Caitlyn damage. And then hopefully Teemo and Fleet Feather Tracker are going to be enough to close this game down. So the way I'm looking at doing this is I'm going to play the Fleet Feather Tracker first. I don't want either the Tracker or our Teemo to die to this card draw. So it's going to come in. Then I'm going to play Teemo. Teemo is going to get the Scout attack in. Boom. Then we're going to get a normal attack in to where we kill off the Fleet Feather Tracker. That was actually kind of a scary hit with the Lurk. Since the Fleet Feather Tracker, I was eyeballing Caitlyn as the unit that we would be taking down, but the Lurk takes that away from us. This Golden Crush Bot, though, is a perfect way for us to lose our Fleet Feather Tracker and get the rally. Guess we probably should have Poro Cannon just to get this little bit of damage in. We have the... Oh no, we're just lethal now. I was like, we do have to worry like slightly about going into the next turn and opponent not hitting a puff cap, but forgot we got the Lurk in there. Beautiful. Man, I wonder if we could have got out of that without cutting a card, or without healing. That was a pretty swift victory, but that's like really close to going wrong. All right, so adding in the Teemos. Now, it's really interesting with our Teemo in this Gale Force. The barrier thing is quite strong, since we can now play Teemo on our turn, attack safely, then play Teemo on our opponent's turn and block, and then he'll come back to hand and basically just have barrier every turn. But it's so important to start with him in our opening hand that I'm going to take the Draw Me If Not in your opening hand, just to make sure we have Teemo every game. Now that we have that, we can like really limit what we do with the Teemo, since we don't have to just say like stack 6 copies in our deck to make sure we pick one up as soon as possible. And so we can look to level up our Jax a little bit. I'm still on board with like putting barriers on him, but we'll see how that plays out. Just know that once you have that always starting in hand thing, you can look to level up your other champions if you want. So here, these are all pretty garbage. These aren't particularly good things, and we have 2 rerolls, so I'll spend 1. I typically really like Crush, but I just don't think it's going to be that strong in our deck. We don't actually do that much ground-based attacking, and we don't count on that damage to really do anything. So I'm just going to pick up Quick Draw. Let us get on board a little bit earlier, and now we have the choice of an Epic Item Chest or the Silent Shadow Seer. I don't remember what this one is either. Let's take a quick look. Add Cursed Symbol to cards in your deck. I don't remember what Cursed Symbol is. I think I don't remember. So I was more interested in the Epic Item Chest anyways, so we'll head up to the Feyblade Twirler. Round start. Stun the player's strongest unit. Never Teemo. Never Teemo. Okay, and so it's kind of tough in these spots, right? It's a bummer if we take a full mulligan and then just naturally draw Teemo, but we can't just like not play anything else until the 3rd or 4th turn of the game. So that worked out nicely. Another bonus of having the item thing is Teemo costs 0 when we draw him, so we have the opportunity to play both cards now.
Bring me tea to gain the strength of rivers.
Prepared for anything.
My training is unconventional.
Teemo coming in. And then we have to decide if we actually want to get some of these ground-based attacks in. I don't think we really do. Like, I'm going to play the Fareth because it's free and it's going to put an equipment in our hand. I'm not actually going to attack with it. I'm just looking for the equipment to attach Teemo. And then we have a free enough hook into this Phantom Prankster right now.
Ooh, quite a collection.
So the thing I'll be looking at next turn is if we can just trade away the Fleet Feather Tracker, then get the rally, get the double attack with Teemo, and that should be enough to end the game. Ooh, we got stunned. I guess that's off the menu.
Tales of our past are seeds for our future.
All right, in with the Conchologist. Let's pick the Purple Berry Shake. It's cheap. That's all I'm looking for here.
Easy does it.
A final lesson.
All right, hopefully we're done with the damage though now. With stunning our bird, we need a way to kill that off.
Reporting in.
Uh-oh. Ugh. Not very nice. So I'm going to save Jax for next turn. I think we'll want the opportunity to block. We'll see. We now get the fresh stun onto the Castaway, so we'll have access to our bird. We'll see if we can't say put Jax in for the blocks and then get some Teemo attacks now.
Honoring a king. Old faithful.
Dude, he's got double elusive out here. I mean, we do have the... Can we do all of this? If we want to, say, play Teemo and Purple Berry Shake?
Prepared for anything.
Not quite.
There's always a way out.
It's like you're gonna be attacking, right?
Need a weapon?
So at least the new angle we have with this is we can lose our ephemeral Jax. That's going to put the Light of Acacia in our hand. Then we can put the Light of Acacia on Teemo, and now we'll get our attacks to where he doesn't die to the other elusive. It's a little scary. We took a bunch of damage this round, but we're playing dudes. There's no way around that.
Want me trouble?
All right, really counting on you this time, Teemo. Yone? Fuck, he's had the answer like every time. It's super annoying. Now we're stuck not being able to drop Ava Achievers. That's okay though, I guess. Get the Conchologist in. I guess we'll take Inspired Light. Not really going to be using any of those. Pass it up.
Think you're fast? Cute.
What's he down to? He's at 9. I was like, well, we can start playing. Can start to just play Aloof Travelers, but they're not going to get enough damage in here.
I'm not afraid.
Right, nobody took opponent to blocking school. That's not the best time to be playing Homecomings.
Give me a sweet bun. Heightens the senses.
All right, let's try this again. Maybe we can get the Teemo in this time. Let's do this. Let's see if we can't get him a little bit. Let's add the Ava Achiever first. See if he plays any like weird stuns on the Achiever, and then we'll follow up with Teemo. See if we can't try and get the baits coming out.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool you.
All right. Well, as it stands, our Teemo will be lethal this round. Don't care about the retreats. Okay. So we should finish this off without taking any more damage.
Understand my methods.
Did we take like 10 this round? 7? So much damage from the Prankster.
You'll never know what hit us.
All right. GG though.
Never underestimate the power of the Scout's Code.
All right. Anything cool? I mean, I'm kind of on board with the Poro Cannons. You know, it gives us something technically cheap to put on the board, and so reasonable enough add here. You know, our hand was completely full that last game. The Conchologist draws cards, the Bird draws cards. Very easy for us to stack up on the early game stuff. So a lot of card draw happening there. Don't want any of these though. See if we can't re-roll onto something cheap. I'm not really excited about starting the game with Fereth. The summon a champion for 3 is pretty decent, and then the striking Aloof Travelers are what I think we want to go after. Just give us some some interactivity where we're kind of putting 2 cards on the board, killing our opponents, and then having a blocker. So what do we got here? Vanguard Lookouts. I mean, I guess they're kind of interesting blockers in this, in the sense that they don't really kill what they're blocking, and we shouldn't be taking as much incidental damage from those Phantom Pranksters. But let's take a look at this other stuff. We don't have any more rerolls, so it needs to be cheap if it's going to make our deck. I'm not opposed to Sumpworks map, but like if we had the Teemo that could generate the spell mana, I would be much more interested in it. I don't think we're going to take any of these. They're all just not really thematically on point with what we're doing. All right, so we get the item. Don't really want to fight the Vicious Enemy. This is a really, really aggressive opponent. And while we did just pick up the Vanguard Lookout, so we have the turn 1 blockers, I just feel like even if we win, we're going to take like 10 or 15 damage and be a real weak point going up against Jinx. And so we'll go up to the Herald of Spring, fight the supports, and just let the Vicious Enemy by. So when one of the foe's units is supported, grant it +2/+2. It's actually kind of a bonus for us that the opponent's getting all those extra stats. If we're just out here blocking and not killing his units, then we're not taking that incidental damage from the pranksters. Alright, we got our 0-cost Teemo
Prepared for anything.
ready to attack.
Armed and ready.
And I think we want to discard something and then just go ahead and put the Poro Cannon down. I'm looking to discard a Puffcat Peddler. It's just kind of slow.
I'll scout ahead. Ooh, quite a collection.
Alright, so the damage is in. Our blockers are ready. I think we're in a good space here. This dum-dum doesn't come in and just stun all of our dudes over and over again. That was a little on the annoying side. Okay, so here's what I was talking about. Oh my god, oh, they just naturally have lifesteal. I guess that makes sense. But we get these blocks in. Our units don't kill his units, and so he's not getting that chip damage in with the Prankster. So it's going to take a bit of work to get the lethals with these lifesteals happening, but not like this round of Teemo attacks probably won't do it, but the next round of Teemo attacks should probably get a kill.
Is that a familiar frog? Oh my gosh.
That's annoying.
Tell me to say hello. Hello.
Guess we'll put the fearsome on old Teemo. I wasn't planning on doing that. I was looking to bank up the mana rolling into the next turn, but the young witch kind of forces our hand. Got to get the fearsome attacks in.
Armed and ready.
Gonna leave the Poros back. We're gonna need these to block next turn. Opponent doesn't have any mana here, so we don't have to worry about like him trading a young witch with the Poro and then him refilling his board. But I want to ensure that we have these blockers ready. Ooh, that was a pretty big hit. All right, so the most damaged ones, we got 11 down here at the end.
Not on my watch.
We got the next ones are going to be the 5s, right? But I want to block with the Prankster to where it won't die. Only taking 3, not terrible.
I've memorized all the Vandal Scout rules.
You guys have really got to keep your voices down.
Okay, let's see if the double damage from the Achiever will finish it off. $26, not bad. I thought we were going to be able to OTK him even through that lifesteal. If we didn't get it there, we should have been able to get it with the Aloof Travelers. Nice. Whew. So what do we got? Any of this stuff? Not super interested in any of these. Like, at least the star chart puts out some epics. It's like I'm kind of eyeballing this Fereth with the armor, but I can't pull the trigger on that. I like playing him for 0 and just getting the free equipment out of it. All right, on with this one. Like, I think I'm good to just continue on with this same plan, right? We have those Vanguard lookouts on the first turn just coming in and blocking. Let's put the sparring students out there as a blocker as well. Okay, and then I typically come in and cut all of this stuff out. I try to cut out the chump wumps first and then cut out the lecturing yordles, but since we get to start with Teemo, I'm not as worried about it here. I'm just going to heal. We draw a ton of cards anyways, and so cutting them out isn't that bad, right? If we're just going to have like 9 and 10 cards in our hand all the time anyways, we should just kind of naturally draw into those cheaper plays and not have to worry about our curve as much. This is something that like worries me a little. I was thinking, you know, it is really nice when we get to play Teemo for free, and like taking these hard mulligans gives us that option to where Teemo may actually turn up, but we still hit. He's not looking fantastic here since the opponent hit these daring Poros, but kind of is what it is. He's gonna have to wait around. Oh, I forgot the whole point of the ability here. It's whenever the opponent attacks, they cast a death rocket, and so it's definitely bringing some booms in here.
Prepared for anything.
Sweep the leg. Hey, you there.
So I played the Teemo for free, but I mean I don't think we can. I'm trying to think if he's like realistically ever going to get to deal damage this game. Maybe opponent will come in and just make some terrible blocks. All right, I guess that worked out. Well, the way I was kind of looking at this is we might be able to get the normal attack in, and then get the rally, then get the scout attack in, and then attack again. But if he's going to tap out all of his mana with the Poros in hand, I think we can just safely play our Teemo now.
Ooh, quite a
I
collection.
think we're good in this space.
I'll scout ahead. I'm swinging. Go away.
Take him down to 20. The next death rocket isn't going to be that bad, right? All of our units survive it. I think we're in a good space here. I think we're going to take down Jinx. So what's he doing? He's just going to add some Poros to the board? Sure.
What wondrous discoveries await.
Add this 1 health unit ready to die to the death rocket. Alright, but not that bad. We have a Sump Fumes to kill this Daring Poro. We should be able to get 2 Teemo attacks in. Take him up to, I don't know, 200 puff caps or so. Should be enough to finish off the game. Look at that, we just drew Jax as well. It's like I want to get the 1 mana one on the board. It's like it actually feels like kind of a bonus getting that the Jax with 5 units since we don't have the since we don't have the shadow version just taking our item away. Still just going to add it in and attack with everybody, but you know he had the chance for success. Alright, so opponent just gave up their whole board. We're not taking any more damage from that Phantom Prankster. I think we're okay. He needs like a big elusive that we can't block.
We made it.
Yeah, the aloof will keep him from attacking. He's just going to draw and discard the only card. The aloof kills his unit. Doesn't have anything to do. I think we're good. Boomed him. And so yeah, not bad, not bad. We're in this kind of odd space to where we don't have the star powers to just, you know, crush through a lot of these higher star powered things, and we haven't quite leveled up our champion up enough to get that second relic. So hopefully here after this weekly quest we'll be there. If not, we'll just do another weekly, and then ideally we'll have these really big starts ready to where we have a scouting Teemo along with the +3 mana whenever he comes into play. Really help shore up our early game. And so I'm excited for that. I can't wait for it to come up. And that's going to do it for us today. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.